Hello everybody, this is Refresh, and today I will be pitting two Shadows Over Innistrad sealed decks against the Theros Face the Hydra challenge deck. I am playing on normal difficulty with 3 heads to begin with, and I will be using the Harvester, which lets both decks draw a card and then discard a card, and then also the Hunter to give one target creature +1/+1 until end of turn. So I'm playing as though the Harvester affects both decks simultaneously, so there'll be times where I might need to stop using it just because one of the decks is down to 1 card. So here we go, we're going to draw 7 from each deck. There's 7. There's 7. This deck has 3 lands and spells, so I think that's good enough to start. This deck has 3 lands and spells, so I think that's good enough to start. Alright, turn 1, we are going to, we have 2 lands, and not many, and none in the color to cast anything, so actually we're going to mulligan here. We have 4 lands and spells. I think that's good to keep. Alright. Turn 1, we will play a island here, and we will play a plains here. That is the end of the turn. It is now the Hydra's turn. The Hydra will draw the first card and play it. It is each player may sacrifice a creature. Each player who has sacrificed a creature this way chooses a head and taps it. Each player who didn't sacrifice a creature loses 3 life. Now neither players have creatures, so they both lose 3 life. And then they both take 3 damage from the 3 Hydra heads as well. So we are losing 6 life in the first turn to go to 14. And then we are going to loot. So we draw Rancid Rats here and a forest here. I think we might be good on the extra lands on this side because we have plenty of playables, and we might need to keep Puncturing Light for something else, especially because it can kill everything. Now I'll discard the extra forest for now. And this side, Rancid Rats is playable and very good against this enemy. I think we can probably get rid of Angelic Purge because it's a bit costly. Alright, now, it is now the turn. We will draw again. We have another forest and a Pale Rider of Trostan. We will play on this side. I think we're going to play the forest, tap, and play Daring Sleuth. And then on this side we will play a swamp, tap, and play Rancid Rats, which will start killing everything. And then we will pass the turn to the Hydra. The Hydra will draw their card. It is Unified Lunge, deals X damage to each player, whereas X is the number of heads on the battlefield. So we'll both take another 6 damage apiece to go to 8. And then we will go back to our turn. We're going to loot again. We draw a Stitched Mangler on this side, which is probably better than a land, and an Emissary of the Sleepless on this side, which is, it's not bad, but it's a bit on the expensive side, and it's going to be a while before I can get to cast it. So I'm going to discard that Emissary of the Sleepless. And we'll go to our turn. Drawing our cards, we have Aim High on this side, a Combat Trick, a Moorland Drifter on this side, which is a 2/2 that can get flying, but that doesn't matter at all now. And we have a bit going on here. What we will do is, on this side we will play a forest because we have more green spells. And then on this side we're going to play a swamp because that's the only other land that we have. Now, what we can do is, the Rancid Rats will attack and kill one just because of Death Touch, and we can pump the Daring Sleuth with the Hunter in order to kill another one. So we're going to attack Rancid Rabbits will attack this, Daring Sleuth will attack this. We will pump the Daring Sleuth to be a 3-2, which will defeat both of these heads. Both players will gain 4 life. So we're going to go to 12 here and here. And we will see if we have any new heads. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, the Shrieking Titan head enters the battlefield. Now this is a problem because it is way too big. I mean, the Rancid Rats can finish it, but it'll force card discard, which is not very good. Unfortunately, I don't think we have a way around it right now. So we're gonna have to lose a card probably in the next turn. Let's cast another spell. In this case, with these 3, we're going to cast the Stitched Mangler. And it taps a target creature opponent controls. I'm going to tap the Shrieking Head to reduce the damage done by 2, and it does not untap during its next untap step. And then on this side, we'll cast the Bygone Bishop to start getting a card draw engine going. And then we will pass the turn to the Hydra. The Hydra will draw a card, and Unified Lunge deals X damage to each player, whereas X is the number of heads on the battlefield. That's 2. So we're going to 10 each. And then the Shrieking Head does its thing where each player is forced to discard a card. We will discard the extra island here, and we'll probably discard the Curse Switch because we can't cast it yet. We'll keep the Puncturing Lights to finish off any other creatures that we attack into that we can't handle. So there's that. We'll take 1 more damage from the last remaining Hydra head. And then we were going to loot. We have another Veteran Cathar here, and we have a Merciless Resolve here. I think this card draw is not especially good, as expensive as it is, so we're going to get rid of it. I like the Cathars because we can cast them, and the Puncturing Light. I think Aim High might be the weakest of the bunch because it's a bit reactive, so we'll get rid of that. And then we are going to draw again for our turn, untap all the things. Draw. We have an Angelic Purge and a Swamp. We will play the Swamp, we will play the Plains. Okay, so here we go on the attack. There's only 2 targets to attack. The Rancid Rats can finish off the Shrieking Titan head by itself. I think we want to attack with the one that we most are okay with losing, and I think that's the Stitched Mangler. So we're going to attack with the Stitched Mangler and pump it with a Hunter to give it +1/+1, making it 3/4 to finish off the Hydra head. So, combat damage happens. Shrieking Titan head and the Hydra head are both defeated. We gain 6 life each and draw a card each. We're going up to 15. And 15. We'll both draw a card. We have Confront the Unknown and Bygone Bishop. I think what we should do is play both Veteran Cathars on this side. To get a force up. Oh, let's see what shows up first. 1, Ravenous Brute. 2, 3, 4. There's just 1 Ravenous Brute head left over on the Hydra's side. This side will cast the other Bygone Bishop. Oops, not like this. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which will get us a clue. And then we'll pass the turn to the Hydra. The Hydra's turn, the Hydra will cast Neck Tangled. If there are 5 or more heads on the battlefield, tap them, otherwise reveal the top card of the Hydra's library and the Hydra casts that card. Okay, we're casting instead Impenetrable Hide. Each head gains indestructible until the end of Hydra's next turn. So we can't actually do any damage this turn. The Hydra is going to do 2 damage to each hero, or each player. So now we're at 13. We're going to go into our turn and we're going to loot. We draw an island, which we kind of want, and a Loam Dryad, which we kind of don't want. So Angelic Purge is a good emergency. We will discard the Loam Dryad, and we will discard probably the Pale Rider. Actually, we're okay on lands right now, so we'll discard the extra planes and hope that we draw into more action. Alright, now we're drawing. We're untapping, then we draw. Alright, we'll play this second planes. And this team here, well, we only need to attack with the Rancid Rats to kill that, so that's what we'll do. We will attack, we'll kill it. Each player will gain 2 life and draw a card. So we're going to 15. 15. We'll both draw a card. And then we will show 2. And there are no more heads. And so the Shadows Over Innistrad sealed deck team wins. Alright, time for game 2 of Shadows Over Innistrad sealed decks versus Face the Hydra from Theros. Face the Hydra has been up to difficult, so that's 4 heads to start with against these 2 sealed decks. Let's see what we draw. 7. 7. The lands in this don't include any forests, so we're gonna try this again. Going for another 7 since it's a multiplayer game. 6 lands and a Lone Dryad, which is kind of like 7 lands. I don't think we can play with this either, so we'll go to 6. Okay, 3, 6. No forests, but I think we should keep this and just hope that we can loot into playables. Alright, on this side we have no lands. So we're gonna shift this as well. Alright, we'll try 7 again. 4, 7. 2 lands. I think it's worth trying. Alright, we'll scry here. Forest, we're keeping that. Alright, so, beginning the game, we are going to play an island here, and a plains here, and we will pass the turn to the Hydra. The Hydra's first move is to make it so that players can't cast spells until the Hydra's next turn. We'll take 4 damage from the heads to go to 16. And then we will loot on both sides. So we're going to draw 1. It's another forest. It's a Rancid Rats. On this side, it's going to be a while before we cast the Emissary Sleepless, so that's where it's going to go. Then we're going to draw. We have Drownyard Explorers on this side and Cathar's Companion on this side. Okay, we can't cast any spells, so all we can do is play lands. We will play the Swamp and the Forest. Pass to the Hydra. The Hydra's going to draw and play another Hydra head. And the players will take 5 damage each to go to 11. And then the players will loot. Land on this side and a land on this side. I don't think we need more than 1 plains, so we will get rid of the excess plains. And on this side, we're going to get rid of probably the Griff's Boon, just because flying isn't that useful, and I can also get it back in the graveyard if I need it. And then we will draw for the turn. We have a Woodland Stream on this side, and an Apothecary Geist on this side. So we'll play the Swamp, and we kind of want to be able to cast something, so we're going to play the Plains. Then this one will play the Graph Mole, because it's a card that can be played. And this one will play probably the Bygone Bishop to get a card advantage engine going. Alright. We're done here. shipping over to the Hydra head. The Hydra head will draw and cast Distract the Hydra. Each player may sacrifice a creature. If they don't, they're going to lose 3 life. And that'll tap a head. So if this team does not sacrifice any creatures, we are taking 8 damage this turn, meaning that we absolutely have to kill a few heads next turn, or we're definitely going to die. So I'm just going to sacrifice creatures to tap heads and minimize damage this turn, as bad as it feels, because we're almost assuredly going to die if we do not. So each of these creatures are sacrificed, 2 heads are tapped, we will take 3 damage from the remaining heads. Go to 8. It's a pretty bad start for this team over here. We're going to loot. So we draw a forest here and a plains here. This plains can go. And this forest we're going to keep. So we will ditch probably the Tooth Collector. Enchantment creature. Actually, we'll ditch the Moorland Drifter. It's probably the weakest of these creatures. Alright. Now, let's get into the turns and hope that we can somehow survive this Hydra. We got a forest and a plains on this side. We'll play the plains on this side. We'll play the island on this side. We have 4 mana here, so I believe that means we're going to cast the Drownyard Explorers. That'll get us a clue. And on this side, we should cast the Rancid Rats just to start killing these guys. And in case something big comes out. Right. Okay. So that's what's going on. We're not attacking this turn because we can't. And so we're going to pass back to the Hydra. The Hydra will draw. And we can't cast spells until the Hydra's next turn. We're taking 3 damage because this doesn't untap this next turn. So we are at 5. And then we're going to loot. We draw a forest and a swamp. Let's go ahead and ditch the swamp. And this side, I think we can ditch the woodland stream because I want to be able to cast things faster. Well, no, there's nothing else I'm going to be able to cast, so I can go ahead and ditch an extra forest. Okay, and we're going to go into turn. We'll draw. We have a Pale Rider on this side. We have Briarbridge Patrol on this side. So let's go ahead and play the woodland stream because we're not going to be casting anything on this side. Or we'll cast the Briarbridge Patrol. Now we can attack and pump this to kill one Hydra head, and this one will kill the other Hydra head. We'll play the forest on this side. Okay, so attack, pump this to kill one. This will kill another. We're going to get 4 life each to go to 9. And we will see if there are any more heads amongst this batch. There's 1 Hydra head. Okay. And then this one will cast the Briarbridge Patrol. Whenever it deals damage to creatures, investigate. This one will cast 5 mana. I think the Apothecary Geist is overpriced, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast the Pale Rider and the Tooth Collector, discarding the Apothecary Geist. Okay. We do not have Delirium, we need more card type for that. And then we are going to pass the turn to the Hydra. The Hydra goes, draws a card, and if there are 5 or more heads, tap 2, otherwise cast the next card. There's only 4. Tap up to 2 heads, they do not untap during the Hydra's next untapped step, and we take 5 damage. Tap, tap. We're taking 5 damage, we're going to 4. And then we'll take 2 more from the Hydra head to go to 2. So, we'll loot. We have a land and an Erdwall Illuminator. We 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We want to keep this. We will. I want to keep Angelic Purge too. The Moondrakes is pretty good. I'm gonna ditch the land on this side. And on this side, I guess I get rid of the Illuminator, because Purge we can just kill the clue to get rid of something, although we have the rats on that side, so we probably don't need the Purge. Let's get rid of the Purge, because the card disadvantage is a little bit strong on that. Okay, now, turns. Draw. Play the island. No, play the forest. And on this side, we are going to... Okay, so we can kill all of the heads. Yes. Attack to kill 1, attack to kill 2, attack to kill 3, and attack to kill 4. We'll keep the Rancid Rats up just in case it just blows out all the attacking creatures. And attack with the Drownyard Explorers, giving in the Hunter. So all 4 of the heads are going to die this turn. Okay. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, and because the Garbage Patrol did damage to a creature, we investigate and get a clue. There are 2 clues there. 4 Hydra heads die. We gain 8 life apiece to go to 10. See how precarious this can be sometimes? Alright, and then we're both going to play creatures. We have 6 mana here, so we'll go ahead and play the Erdwall Illuminator. Which I guess we should have done before we attacked, because we could have double investigated. And on this side, we will cast the Cathar's Companion, because it's more likely to be able to kill something. And then we're going to show 8 and see how many show up. That's 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we have 2 boss. The Shrieking Titan, which forces it discards. The Snapping Fang, which does 1 extra damage. And then a regular Hydra head. It's not looking good, but we'll see what happens. It's the Hydra's turn, the Hydra draws a card, and it is Unified Lunge. We are dealt X damage, where X is the number of heads on the battlefield. That's 3 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 plus 6 is 9 apiece, and we're going to have to discard. So we're going to 1 each, and we both have to discard. Emissary is Sleepless. We will drop the mountain, or the island. And we're not going to loot because player on the right has no extra anything, and then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and sack a clue here to draw a card. It's Puncturing Light. That's great. That'll help us get rid of another one of these big guys. It's turns. I think we'll be able to kill both of the big guys this turn. Draw. I have a Drownyard Temple on this side, because we'll play it, and a Graph Mole on this side, which I think we will also play. Okay, so Garbage Patrol is going to kill the Hydra head. We are going to have Rancid Rats kill another Hydra head, and then we are going to attack with the, what's our least useful card here? I guess we will attack with the Drownyard Explorers into the other Hydra head, and then we're going to Puncturing Light it. So, alright, this is what's going on. There's attacking going on here. This Puncturing Light is used to kill the Shrieking Titan head, which the Drownyard Explorers are attacking. It dies. The Rancid Rats kills the Snapping Fang head. It dies. Garbage Patrol kills the Hydra head. I get a clue and it dies. And because of Erdwall Luminary, I get another clue, and then we gain 10 life and draw 2 cards apiece. So we're back to 11. Card number 1 draw. Card number 2 draw. Alright. We can cast both either the Solitary Hunter or the Graph Mole. I'm going to cast the Graph Mole on this side because sacrificing clues with the Graph Mole out is a little bit better. And on this side, we will cast the Magnifying Glass because that's what we have. Oops. Alright, and that is the end of the turn. Let's go. We're gonna show 6 cards to see if any new heads show up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This team, the Shadows Over Innistrad sealed deck team, has defeated the Hydra. Congratulations, and like if you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe if you'd like to see more of these kinds of videos. And this was Refresh. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time with the Shadows Over Innistrad sealed decks battling the Horde.